from,
Study
if you
group
believe.
two. Miseducation in the negro. We about to get deep.
All right, so it's good that
Forgive the brothers and
everybody's
sisters
out,
came too.
family is in the building. I'm excited now because I was coming here thinking about what faces was going to be here when I get here, and I saw her getting
I
out
got
the
to go, my
car,
brother. Can you hook a brother up?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Help
I talk
yourself.
right there. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. What's going on? I got the
and
young
here
fella
go
coming
another
in.
mighty
We getting
soldier.
in deep.
How you doing? Peace and love.
I'm doing
Peace
peace
and
and
love,
love. How
bro.
you feel?
I'm alright. I'm alright. How you
Yeah,
doing? Sir?
yeah.
Everything
What's
good? How you doing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I got.
Peace and love. That's the last one.
How you doing? What's up, big brother? How you doing? Alright, I'm gonna stop by. I'll be right back.
Come on and build with us, beloved.
I
Come
got. I'm
on.
with some friends right now, but I'm gonna bring
All
them
right,
too.
we need your energy.
I got you.
Yes, sir. So we are reading the miseducation of the Negro. We are reading it together. Brother Eli was a part of us a few weeks ago. He read with us. Sister Dion has been consistent. Brother Mark Quinn, consistent. Brother Pastor Anya Relay has been consistent since he said he was going to come. He has kept on point, and that's a great thing. We're going to go into it. I plan on being a little provocateur a little bit so we can get some stimulated thought and good conversation. I believe we're in chapter 5. And if I didn't bring my glass on, be so highly upset. Oh, I did. Good.
Last time I couldn't read. I didn't have
All
my.
right, I know. I'm real.
Walmart
I brought
reading
on.
glasses. Probably last like another week.
So I want everybody to take notes on the time period that this takes place, and I'll put out something if somebody wanted to look through this. This is a timeline calendar of all of the events that has occurred from 1965 on. I mean, all of the important events, who was born, what America was going through, and it's very important sometimes for us to match up what was taking place because I don't think we give ourselves enough credit as a people for what we've accomplished doing all of this stuff that's going on, you know? Who would like to read? My brother, you ain't been here for a moment. Let's initiate you with some reading.
We're starting that right here.
Yes, sir.
You stuck here last week? Last time we came together?
What, chapter 5?
Yeah.
Depending on what you start reading, I don't know. Because I don't quite recall.
Well, she wasn't here, so we could backpedal a little bit.
Right, we go.
The failure to make a living, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's go. It said the failure to make a living, the greatest indictment of such education as Negroes have received. However, it is that they have thereby learned little as to making a living. The first essential in civilization, rural Negroes have always known something about agriculture. And in a country where land is abundant, they have been able to make some, oh my God.
Don't worry about it.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna call you right back. Yeah. Let me take my speakers bump right. They say their land is abundant, they have been able to make some sort of living on the soil, even though they have not always employed scientific methods of farming and industry where the competition is as meaner. However, what the Negro has learned in school has had little bearing on the situation as pointed out above. And the business role of education as a factor in the uplift of the Negro has been still less significant. The Negroes of today are unable to employ one another, and the whites are inclined to call the Negroes only when workers of their own race have been taken care of. For the solution of the problem, the miseducated Negroes have offered no remedy whatsoever. What Negroes are now being taught does not bring their minds into harmony with with life as they must face it. When a Negro student works his way through college by polishing shoes, he does failure to learn to make a living, not thinking of making a special study of science, underlining in the production of distribution of leather and its production, that he may someday figure out this spur. The Negro boy sent to college by mechanics seldom dreams of learning mechanical engineering to build upon the foundation his father has laid. That in years to come he may figure out a contractor or consultant engineer. The Negro girl who goes to college hardly wants to return to her mother if she's a washerwoman. But this girl should come back with sufficient knowledge of physics and chemistry and the business administration to use her mother's work as a nucleus for a modern steam laundry. A white professor of a university recently resigned his position to become rich by running a laundry for Negroes in the southern city. A Negro college instructor would have considered a such suggestion and so the so-called education of Negro college graduates leads them to throw a opportunity which they have and to go in quest of those which they do not find.
Hold on, stop right there.
Mm.
So why do you think an educated, let's deal with the psyche of the so-called Negro at that time, because that's what it is, it's the psyche. Why would they distastefully look at starting a laundry business if they were educated, but that laundry business probably generate more money than what an educated person makes? Why would a Negro dislike that job? Well, why would they feel insulted by doing that type of work? That's just me questioning what he just wrote.
You know
Anybody like to take that answer?
Let me put the camera on me right quick because I was bubbling. You know what's funny? When he read it, I understood it better than when I read it, because I think we started off and I started the same section.
Right.
And then when he was reading it, it crystallized for whatever reason better than what it did when I did it a couple weeks ago. And it's like the perspective of being at a job is totally different than what it should be, that'll ultimately help us get at the position we're in. Like he said, these white people, they will get into jobs, learn what they need to learn, and the whole time they're thinking, all right, the moment I get the most information I need to get out of here, create something of my own, I'm out. And the first thing they thought was like, this is your liberal friend, right? And come in, sit down, say, hey, black people, how you doing? I get my information, and I'm saying, all right, black people are made to power a business. They come with the funds, no matter who's got the business. So as I get to know them, this is all strategic. This is all in the business mind. I don't really like you. Remember, back in the day, Negroes had to put the money down so that this entrepreneur would or the proprietor would take the money, so they wouldn't touch hands.
Yeah, so they couldn't touch hands, right?
You see what I'm saying?
Was insulted.
That's right. So that's the basis of our relationship. So the moment I get this information and you think I'm your friend, I'm just socializing with you because every white person that you involved yourself with and treated you horribly, I'm going to socialize with you because this is all business. And once I get my information, I'm going to take this business administrative degree, I'm going to go and parlay that into a building so that I can clean your clothes. I'm not really cleaning your clothes. You know what I mean? You are putting me, my family, taking care of myself, you're taking care of the family. And when the Negro is brought with that type of situation, hey, what scenario, why don't you do that? Well, no, I haven't been educated to do that, so you can't even fathom that. So now it becomes you mean be like the white man? Do the role that the white man does? No. I'm a Negro. This is the plate he got for me, and I'm going to stay in this plate, in this platform. How dare you say for me to have power to be able to control other people's destiny and provide for black people? I don't do that. It's not what my education taught
So
me.
you're saying the programming conflicts with him doing that, his programming.
Absolutely.
It's basically what's going on today. You know, it's like we don't like you, but you're tolerated to benefit. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Right, but why would you think after a person gets a degree, say they get a master's degree in something, why would they not jump on the opportunity to have their own business that would create large revenue doing that type of business? Read that again so you can, where we can, so I want you to, because I just see a little twist on that, and it's something I was
Say,
reading today.
the Negro girl who gets to college hardly wants to return to her mother if she's a washwoman. But this girl should come back with sufficient knowledge of psychics and chemistry and business administration to use her mother's work as a nucleus for a modern steam laundry.
So in other words, they saying this educated black woman should come back and take what the mother's done, but take it to another
build
level
on top of that.
and build on top of it
Exactly.
and help where she didn't have an education to do what she was doing,
Right.
but take it to another level because there's revenue in what mommy was doing.
Right.
It's like
Right.
the mother had the idea, but the daughter went on to finesse it.
Yeah, but she feels it's insulting now because education has made her feel
Uppity.
uppity, you know, a little bit. And she doesn't see doing domestic work like that
Mhm.
as profitable.
Mhm.
And I was asking the question, why would you think the psyche of her, this young lady, would be like that? What happened in her process of seeing mommy work and do what she was doing that she wouldn't want to do this, being educated now? Because you can see, if you give me 30 shirts and I wash them and clean them and press them, I can make as much money as going to a job somewhere when I can stay home and do that for a living and doing it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I think that was it. I think what happens is our kids, they don't really see. It's like they look at the elders and be like, well, you went to school and this is what you got, or you didn't go to school and this is what you got. You know, I don't want to do that because I don't want to end up where you at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an example where it's like, oh well, you know, where could we go from this? You know what I mean? Like I don't have an example where it's like, oh, they did this and now they're successful. It's like, well, you look around, everybody's struggling. I mean, you look at, you know, everybody's parents. Everybody's parents or elders. They're even more of a struggle. You know, we could barely house our elders. You know, we could barely take them to their appointments. We could barely, you know, keep them comfortable in the houses that some of them own, you know, that are falling apart, that
Right.
need maintenance, that, you know what I mean? And we don't have really no pool of finance or community or even really nowhere where this is like, okay, we have this for our elders, you know, for the ones that can't really take care of themselves and they don't have the family members to fend for them. So I think it goes back to why are our children not looking at it like that, or why are we not being taught to build back your community as opposed to run off and kind of do your own thing? Because you know maybe they feel like me doing my own thing is gonna be more successful. You know, I've seen what you guys done and that ain't really work out for y'all, so I'm gonna do
Like,
it.
don't work for the corporation, but be the corporation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right, but I feel like even with that mindset, it's like we still end up working for another corporation, whereas opposed to we need to be working for each other and kind of working with each other to have our own.
Yeah.
To have our own. Brother Anya Wheeler, build on that.
I can kind of understand where our brother and sister obtained this mindset, because as we know in the past, it was not popular that black men and women would read or educate themselves, because the white man preferred you in menial jobs, janitorial,
Okay.
washing clothes, factory workers, and all these different things. So now that a person receives education, they feel they can counteract the white man's oppressive tactic on them, right? So they venture out into the white man's world to compete, where out there, the white man is going to definitely prevent you from creating their own,
Right.
having their own, or working for them and building for them.
in that arena.
Yes.
Because, and this is what I'm thinking, brother.
Go
I remember my father, Andrew Sr., taking me to work. He was a custodian at a school building. And he would take me and my brother. This is actually the only time that we got to stay with him because he didn't live at home. So we went to the school building. And I remember a white teacher coming up to him and saying, Andy, is these your two boys?
Mhm.
Right? And I looked at him and I looked around because I never heard anybody call my father Andy because I'm Andrew. Right? So he called him Andy and I looked around and my father was like 6'2", and this little short white man calling him Andy. And he said, yeah, these are my two boys here. And I said, why do you let him call him? And in my mind, I'm saying, why do you let him call him Andy? I'm saying my father's name is Andrew. See, but I'm little now. I'm taking his lead, and I'm waiting for him to tell him my name is Andrew. Don't call me Andy, right? And in my mind, in my own little mind, at about 7 years old, 8 years old, I said to myself, I said, I don't want to work in a school like this if people not gonna call you by your name, you know? So I never wanted to be, and he never told anything like a job. The job was just a job to him. Yes, son, you're gonna come to work with me because we're gonna clean up, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna get your brother and my uncle, and we're gonna clean up 2 and 3 schools at the same time, and it's gonna be called the Raid Cleanup Company, and we'll just be the ones that clean up all the schools, and we're gonna make money from 3 sites now, because he never had that type of mindset, right? And he didn't initiate that it could become a business to me. And psychologically, when I read this, I said, maybe when the little girl seen her mother doing this, her mother wasn't in the best, it looked like it was an oppressive job to her.
Right.
And why would she want to get an education and then go back to an oppressive job, cleaning some white folks' clothes? So she lost the edge of seeing it as a money maker. She's seen it more. That was me when I just read it. I just seen it from that angle, because when you little, you build these little, they don't have to be all true, but you build these little things that you see with your little eyes, you know. And that's something I felt, you know, I saw and I said, maybe we should discuss that. But we can, let's go on.
A white professor of a university recently resigned his position to become rich by running a laundry for Negroes in the southern city. Did I go?
Yeah, you read that already.
Yeah, all right, boom, all right, no, I'm right here. All right. A Negro college instructor would have considered such a suggestion an insult. This so-called education of Negro college graduates leads them to throw away opportunities which they have, and to go in quest of those which they do not find.
Exactly.
Right.
That's crazy.
Say that again, read that one more time, because I read that this morning, but read it again. Just that last part.
It said the so-called education of Negro college graduates leads them to put out west a schoolmate who was studying wool. How did you happen to go into this sort of thing? The author and acquired his people for the former replied, I had some experience in wool, and in college he prepared for work. On the contrary, the author studied Aristotle, Plato, Marsigolo. Sound like an Italian word. And Buddha, and hold on, let me get it together. And Pascasius Rathbertus, when he was in college, his friend found who studied war. However, is now independently rich and has sufficient leisure to enjoy cultural side of life. His knowledge of the science underlying the business developed, but the author has to make his living by begging for a struggling cause. An observer recently saw that the market near his office a striking example of insufficiency of our system. He often goes over there at noon to buy a bed of fruit and to talk with a young woman who successfully conducts a fruit stand there in cooperation with her mother. Some year ago, he tried to teach her in high school, but her memory was poor and she could not understand what he was trying to do. She stayed a few weeks, smiling at the others who toiled, and finally left her and to assist her mother in business. She learned from her mother, however, how to make a living and be happy. The observer was reminded of this young woman. Soon thereafter, when there came to visit him a friend who succeeded in mastering everything taught in high school at the same time. Thereafter, distinguished himself in a college. This highly educated man brought with him a complaint against life. Having had extreme difficulty in finding an opportunity to do what he is trained to do, he has thought several times of committing suicide. A friend encouraged him, this despondent man, to go ahead and do it. The sooner the better. The food and air which he is now consuming may then go to keep alive. Someone who is in touch with life and able to grapple with his problems. This man has been educated away from the fruit stand. This friend had been trying to convince this misfit and the unusual opportunities for the Negroes in business, but he reprimanded his advisor for urging him to take up such tasks. When most Negroes disengaged have been failures. If we invest our money in some enterprise of our own, said he, those in charge will misuse or misappropriate. I have learned from my study of economics that we had just as well keep on throwing it away. Upon investigation, however, it was discovered that the complainant and most others like him have never invested anything in any of the Negro enterprises. Although they have tried to make a living by exploiting them, but they have a bit guilty on the account, and when they have some apparent ground for fault finding, they try to satisfy their conscience with all but condemn them for their suicidal course of getting all the way and can't all the way. They can out of the race by giving back too.
All right, stop, because does that sound familiar, that conversation that we just read just now? Does that sound like it's going on in 2018?
Yeah, I've been through it personally myself.
Talk about it.
I mean, bringing up an idea one time, before I even knew any better or was like subconscious or aware, I brought up an idea, that was pretty wild. But then I was like, nah, I'm gonna throw it away. And I had a supervisor tell me, yeah, that's what you should do. You ain't gonna make it. It'll be a waste anyway.
That's what they told you?
Yeah. That's what. Well, I was working, and that's what a shift leader told me, the supervisor.
Because he didn't want to lose you on you starting your own business. You're gonna leave.
Exactly, and that's what I was going for. But once I went home and thought about it, and the anger went down, you could I'm like, nah, you could sort of hear the hate in his voice. And
this was another black person?
No, this wasn't another black person.
Okay,
He was running the spot, so big white dude.
Okay, and he kind of reigned on your idea to do something that would be independent entrepreneurship.
Right.
Yes. Okay. I think we all have experienced. We all experienced that. Anybody else? Come on, build on this, because this is relevant in 2018, right where we at right now.
All right, I got you. My
Why it's been around this long?
my John David Robert Washington fro.
Go ahead,
Black
brother.
Klansman.
Looking like Frederick Douglass.
I got my fro going here, but you talking about economic investment, and you know we know about the economics in regards to black people reinvesting in themselves, right? And you know it's funny because we talk two sides of the mouth. We've been in different circles, right? And you know, Justice L dealing, you know, with the shooting thing and whatnot. We are tantamount in regards to the language that we use, that is revolutionary, that is freedom finding, that's independence, it's justice. And you get in other circles where it's like that when it's 4 or 5 of us and we hanging out, we talk to them, yeah, we gotta do this, man, we don't unify ourselves, you know, we don't do this, we don't do that, we have the money and we spend it on everything else. Then we get in front of other people and that whole language saying, no, it ain't about color. And we all a community. So if you sound like that, when there's a lot of people around, everybody around, multicultural, it's diversity, then you talking about that dual consciousness, W.E.B. Du Bois. What consciousness rules when we behind closed doors? That's like pillow talk. We all, you know, but we adults, we here. We done said some pillow talk. Somebody believed something that they wasn't supposed to believe at that time.
Right.
You know? And that wasn't the forefront of your consciousness. The real you is, I ain't really waiting for this. This is too big, but at the moment it was feeling good. So, I say all that to say that, again, the teaching, the education, it doesn't teach you to put your money in to reinvest yourself. During that time, when we had banks and stuff, just come rob and take the money. We had black banks where people who were crooks would steal all the money and people be gone. So they would say, you know what, I'm just going to take the money, I'm going to spend it.
Right, because that is true, right? At that time, because this was what, the 30s, right? And this is when black businesses were being taken over or like they were coming in. I know, how far was the Black Wall Street after that? That was...
No. This is...
No, that's way before, right?
No, this book is written in 1933,
30s, right?
1930, yeah. And Black Wall Street was 1921.
Okay.
Right, 1921.
So
home, yeah.
So that was the time period.
Yeah. This was right after the. Now, mind you, what was happening now? This was, if I'm not mistaken, American history. The Great Depression had came in the 30s.
Okay.
This is when white people was jumping out of buildings and all that. The economy was changing and they was losing millions of dollars. It didn't affect black people like white people, because white people, you know, but they mentioned in there this particular person considered suicide, right? He wanted to commit suicide. And I'm sorry to interrupt, because did you finish your thought?
Let me finish this quote. Well, to go into one again, like you said, that's all right. That you had the bank system and everything like that, and they would take all our stuff or whatever. And we got to a point where we had the money, we were going to immediately spend it. And during that time, our businesses and our communities was getting destroyed. So you figure, all right, well, we know one thing that won't get destroyed, because we ain't got the gumption enough to go over there and do to them what they did to us. So now the things that we need, we got to go over and spend them. And so now you get. We've had things have been destroyed. All this is going on within the consciousness at that time. Now we can speak in the historical context, but let's deal with what was going on at that time. We had businesses who were prospering and they were destroyed. Now in the education system, it doesn't teach anything about self-defense. And to go back to what we had previously read about the sister and her getting that education, and now she's coming back all snooty, working hard, like, yeah, we wanted you to get education. We want you to come back and act like you was better than me. Because the things that they said she wouldn't do with her mother, I guarantee she did it with a white man. If he gave her the same capabilities and power to build up his organization and his business, the way Brother Winston said she wouldn't do it with her mother, she would do it in a heartbeat. If John Carroll came over and said, hey, I'm in business operations, you're going to take this information that you got from your school and help build up my organization. You'll be right next to me. You'll be right up under me. My concubine, and all the studying in the world that she did, she never came across the word concubine, so she don't know what it means. And then she'll become the concubine, and then she'll find out what it means. By then, she's been in fall over the dude, and little sex slaves. and she done helped them build up the organization or whatever. Now we got a loving case. You know what I'm talking about, brother? The loving case.
Yeah, the interracial marriage
Yeah.
that
Yes, sir.
they made a movie about. Yeah.
So she's in love and he's in business. She's in love and he's in business. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Using our greatest strength against
Well, like investing into black enterprises, but exploiting them. I think about your movie, my favorite, Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Black
Earlier
A
this
TV
year,
movie.
it was everybody's favorite, and everybody was, really African and, really, prideful, and
Mhm.
and then after a month after, it was like, okay, everybody go back to their Europeanized, traditionalized,
You know why that is, though, right?
Americanized.
Mm-mm.
Tell us why that is. Because there's a reason for that. Tell us why.
Well, I think that, it's always, in a sense, been like, it's only good to kind of, be about it when it's trending in a way.
Mhm.
And I think that's what it was saying, and that's what it's become, because that's, how this westernized society has made it. So when I want you guys to be about Black history, y'all have a month to do that. And I feel like that's another reason why it'd probably be hard for people to come to this table, because people really don't want to talk about Black history until we kind of are positioned and, accustomed to doing it,
Yeah.
which is February.
Right.
But I think, if we really would get back to our roots, and really begin to humble ourselves and open up these books and really learn, I think it will be a lot easier for people to kind of just fall in place and want to know more and be disciplined enough to make the sacrifice to learn more. But I don't know if I answered your question. I feel like mostly what I'm trying to say is, I think when it's a good thing to be Black, everybody will be.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, for an example, everybody was jocking Nike,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Because, Cap.
Cap,
And,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and I
mhm.
feel like, maybe I don't want to speak too much on it, because I don't want to take away from the good that he did do. But I do feel like we kind of missed the mark, or why is now it's all about, this franchise,
Mhm.
which has been exploiting us in a way, or we've been putting into, this, but we're still falling away from the conversation, which it was supposed to be about, uh, extermination on Black males, by police genocide, underprivileged and disenfranchised employment and opportunities for young men,
Mm-hmm.
and on
So-
and so forth,
Yeah, Brother Anya Wheeler, somebody else still doing it, and then I'll talk after everybody, because my job is to facilitate. Come on, build on that. Why do you think all right, so they gave us an iconic movie, The Black Panther.
Mhm.
It was iconic.
Yeah.
Never in Marvel history.
Mm.
And I've watched every Marvel movie ever made to man. That they put an all black
I'm
cast,
surprised they let it go through.
all black cast.
Mhm.
Even though there was internal wars that took place there, but the black man was kicking butt. And it showed, it left so many big points that had so much truth in it. You seen mother planes in it. You seen technology that they couldn't even see from the sky, right? They had information that had transcended the European world, right? They had one leader, even though black folks running in 2018 said we don't need no leader, they had the Black Panther, right? He was dubbed the leader, right? And they had a system, a government. Some of it I thought was kind of silly though, because you ain't coming out of nowhere challenging the king for his position. No, you ain't getting to fight back. All right, you go and prepare to fight him, and by the time you get dressed, I guarantee you, I will have 12 ninjas assassinated. No, you ain't fighting nobody. I'm sorry. You ain't coming out of nowhere. Then you come from the Yahudi's world, and your mindset is reaping with Yahudi intentions. No, this is warfare now for real. We taking you in while you think you get ready to fight them. We putting a hit on you. You dying. You ain't getting to fight nobody.
Right.
But I think we need to look at this because see, people sometimes we are all of us sitting here, we're creatures of habits. That's how I sold cars. I know I learned one thing, that people are creatures of habits. We not breaking habits that easily, especially if you've been doing it for years. You're gonna do the same thing over and over. In fact, if I sit in my car, I can guarantee if I see you always park, just come